Hey guys, EC Fishing here with your easy tip on the drop shot. So drop shot is by far one of my favorite techniques to fish. It's a finesse fishing technique that works best during the summer and winter times when these bass are finicky and they're a little slow, so they're not wanting to chase after big presentations. It's a simple setup. All you need is a finesse worm, about a size 1 hook, and a drop shot weight. Okay, you're going to set the weight below the hook at about 6 to 18 inches depending on the depth of fishing that you're doing. Now if you have something like a fish finder, you can see exactly where those fish are suspending, then you can adjust your leader length to that depth. Now what you're going to want to also have is a very light rod. I would suggest somewhere between 6 to 7 foot and beyond, and something with medium to light action. If you go too far on the heavy side, you're not going to feel that very light bite that you get with finesse fishing. Something like a chatterbait or a crankbait, you're really going to know when the fish bites. But with something like finesse fishing, which is the drop shot, then you're really going to have to pay attention to that very, very light tick-tick that you get when you get that bite on the hook. And sometimes they may just bite and not move at all, so you're really not going to know if the fish is on the hook if you have a very heavy rod. Now fishing this is very easy. All you're going to do is throw out your bait and let it sink to the bottom. Once it sinks to the bottom, you're going to notice you have some slack on your line. Reel in that slack so we have a semi-tight line. With that semi-tight line, you're going to be able to feel the small nuances of the bottom and if the fish bites. Now, a lot of people get impatient, but you got to understand that you can leave your presentation there up to about 30 seconds before you know that there's no fish in the area. Now, if you do feel like you have a fish on the line, but he's not giving you that tug, the saying goes, hook sets are free, and by all means, go for the hook set. And it's a joy when you find out that there's a fish at the end of the line and you had no idea. Now with the hook set in mind, let's talk about that. Now the hook set with finesse fishing is going to be a little different compared to a crankbait or some of these big presentations that you put on. The best way to come at a hook set is to come at about a 3 or 9 o'clock hook set as opposed to your 12 o'clock hook set, okay? You're not going to want to rip that fish out the water because you will pull that hook. Remember, we're dealing with small hooks, and putting the hook in the right spot is very key to making sure you get that fish in the boat. Now with that 3 to 9 hook set, you're going to turn your body and reel into that hook set. Keep in mind while we're fishing this, our rod's going to be up in the air, okay? So we can get our line as straight as possible. Remember, we want to have our presentation as horizontal as possible. So with that in mind, understand with your rod in the air and you trying to make this hook set, you need to drop your rod, reel in that slack, turn to your 3 or 9. Now this presentation works deep, shallow, in the brush or in the clear. I personally love fishing it in the brush, but you need to understand with that exposed hook, you can get snagged a lot in the brush. The easiest way to mitigate that is if you're not setting the hook, make sure that you're pulling in your presentation nice and slow. That way you can give your worm plenty of space and plenty of room to get through all that brush. Alright guys, that was your easy tip on the drop shot. Teach your friends, teach your wife, teach your kids, teach your dog if you can, and if you can't, send them my way. If you enjoyed this content, please like, share, and comment on what you'd like to see in the future. And as always, keep fishing easy, my friends.